could be 1. That'd be fine. Just you're pulling on the SP. The push-pull is actually called the spinous push-pull. So you're pushing and pulling on the spinous processes. So if I could have somebody lie on their side facing me, I'll show you. Remember, we just do this as an MET. Why?
We don't really know that we're exactly.
No,
Well, with your hands around the spine, you're gonna drop.
you could drop. I mean, I learned this one to drop, but I talked about it. I talked about the reason why we're only doing this as a MET, because there's a lot of torque in this setup, and if you're not careful with it, it's just too much torque to drop off. A lot more than the other two, or there's potential for a lot more. So. Let's go ahead and see. Pull up that. There we go. Put that there. And what part of the spine is this for? What part of the lumbar spine? Huh?
What part of the movement?
Yeah. The upper, L1, 2, maybe 3. So really L1, L2. So we're actually flexing until we get L1, L2 to move. We'll rotate the upper body. Chances are we're not going to have to rotate the upper body that much because we're up higher now. So we rotate the upper body a little bit. Now L1 starts to move. We keep that there. Put this arm over. Put my arm through. Palpate those SPs again. Make sure that I can rotate the upper body till that upper SP moves. I'm going to slide my knee up here. And I finish up the tension. You find that first barrier by pushing down on the elbow, pushing down the knee, and putting my elbow into the patient's delts like that. And then, why don't you go ahead and untwist yourself? Okay, there we go. A little bit more pushing up with the lower body. There we go. That's good. Let the patient relax. And then a little bit more. So, I'm leaning into the patient to bring tension, and I'm using my upper body to create torsion. So you can memorize what your upper arm needs to do, or you can just look at it and decide that it's doing this to the patient. That's what I want it to do. And it needs to do it in a way that you don't have an elbow in their breast or in their face. The other hand needs to be on the rib cage. That's to protect the rib cage, but also make a nice solid contact for your arm, so you feel like you got a little bit of pressure there and not just rubbing against their armpit. And both hands need to start relatively right next to each other on SPs. But when you eventually get to the point where there's tension there, they're probably going to come apart a little bit. And that's okay, as long as they start together. Pulling here, pushing there. Knee pushes while you pull on that SP. Elbow pushes while you push on the SP. That make sense? All right, let's do it.